Welcome, guys, to the Real Estate Investing Worldwide podcast. Today, we have the amazing Kinga Szabo. She actually flew in from Dubai. We're gonna talk about all things Dubai, the current state of the market, a lot of misconceptions that you're hearing in the media that is not necessarily true. Kinga, welcome. How are you?
Well, thank you, first of all, Kevin. I'm really honored to be here. I'm very well. I really enjoy being here in New York City.
Of course, and we'd love to have you. I believe this is the fourth time that we have you in the podcast. And again, it never gets old. I love it.
Thank you.
Kinga, let's get right into it. So let's talk about Dubai. Obviously, here in the US, we see everything going on through the eyes of the media, that supposedly everything is gone crazy over there in Dubai. There's war, there's missiles. Talk to us, clarify what's actually going on in Dubai.
Yeah. So I've seen many videos and the amount of AI generated pictures and footage, that's insane. So first of all. Second of all, is there a war? Yes, there is a war between Iran and US. And unfortunately, the Gulf countries are in between, right? But what we feel about it, first of all, there are no flames. So none of the buildings have been hit. There have been debris falling, which caused minor damages in buildings, but nothing big scale. No disruption in any of the utilities, no disruption in any of the services. The airspace or the airlines are operating almost at full capacity. So that's what we feel. Do we hear the interceptions? Yes, we do hear the interceptions. But the UAE air defense is so strong and so stable that they have a 96% successful interception rate. And over the past 3 weeks, since we have this whole conflict going on, no major damages have been caused. So I think it's mainly a media craze. I don't think it's showing an accurate picture. People are calm. The streets are still busy. The malls are busy. I tell you a funny story. I was having dinner with some clients in one of the malls. And we usually get, because in Dubai there are no sirens, so we usually get a notification on the phone that there is an attack, right? And we were going to have dinner, waiting for our table to be ready, and suddenly we got this message. And I was watching the people in the mall, what they would do. And they took out their phone, they clicked OK, and they carried on.
Like a snooze button.
Yeah, no panic, nothing, they just carried on with their lives. And that's how confident we are that the country is safe, is 100% safe. And I think you couldn't do that in any other countries. Like if you were to get, God forbid, but if you were to get such a notification here, I can see how people would go into a panic mode. It's not like that in Dubai. We trust the government.
Wow. So what you're saying is it's pretty much business as usual.
Yeah.
Yes, people are alert, but at the same time, I mean, people are going about their day.
Yeah. Everything is open. So the businesses are open, restaurants are open, malls are open. Everything goes as usual.
Okay. So what has actually changed from the time the war started, right? Because obviously, I'm assuming it's a little bit different from the perception that people are seeing the UAE. So you that live there, you've been living there 14 years, correct?
That's correct.
And just so the audience knows, Kinga's an amazing, amazing woman. She owns 2 companies, starting a third, correct?
Yes.
And she owns Beacon. So if you're interested in investing in Dubai, but you want to open up your business, Beacon is the company that will help you with the business setup. And if you're thinking of investing in real estate, she's also the owner of Manara Properties, which is a partnership that we have with Vision Elite Team. So She is the go-to. Her team is amazing. I had the privilege of going out to Dubai for 2 weeks to sit down with the team. Everybody's amazing. So, and I think that's the biggest thing, that you have good people working with you. So you're in the right hands with Kinga. But in terms of, I want to talk about now about the real estate. Okay, so let's talk about that. How has that kind of changed with this war that's going on?
Yeah. So with the war, one thing that is very visible, that that currently there aren't as many tourists as before. So basically, it's the tourism industry that took the majority of the hit. Now, in terms of real estate, if I want to translate that into the language of the real estate, all the short-term rental apartments that were on Airbnb or any other kind of short-term platform, they suddenly got all the cancellations, right? Now, in order to mitigate the risk or just handle the situation, the owners have transferred the units from the short-term market to the long-term market.
Wow.
And obviously for the tenants, that has created a better opportunity, right? Now they have room to negotiate. So currently it is the rental market. It doesn't refer to the old agreements, but for new agreements, you can probably negotiate better terms and better deals. What's going to happen as a result of that? Now, suddenly, all of these short-term units have transferred to the long-term units. Now, this is kind of a one-way street. It's very difficult to go back from the long-term to the short-term. So you cannot just jump back and forth. So that is going to create a huge vacuum in the short-term rental market once this whole conflict is over and once the tourists are back.
So let's talk about that. So you're saying that landlords can't necessarily flip-flop back from long-term to short-term. Can you elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So basically, the laws in the UAE protect both sides, the landlord and the tenant, which I think is very fair. In order for me to evict a tenant who is paying the rent properly, who has not caused any trouble, in other words, he's a good tenant, right? In order for me to evict that person, I have to give him a 12 months of notice. During this 12 months, he's going to be paying the agreed rent together with the utilities. And then 12 months later, he moves out, right? Now, I have 2 years of cool down period until when I cannot lease my property.
Oh.
Okay? I can live in it, I can sell it, and the new owner can lease it, but I cannot put it on the market again. This is to avoid landlords to evict their tenants in the hope of getting a better return or better rent, or in the hope of jumping from long-term to short-term. Now that's the thing I believe the short-term rental operators or small investors who have short-term rentals, they have not been advised on. And that's why they move their property from the short-term to the long-term. But it's difficult to move back. Of course, if they wait for 2 years, they can definitely do that. But it's 2 years of lost income.
There you go. So what you're saying is it's not as easy just to convert back, because you do need that cool down period.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, if you're not advised the correct way, in order to, when you're buying your apartment initially, you can be losing a lot of money.
Exactly. So I believe these people, they were acting very hastily, and probably they were not advised properly, because instead of just waiting this whole thing out and then putting the property back on the short-term market, they have acted too fast, and they pulled the property out of the short-term market and put it on the long-term market.
Oh man, where do you see that again when everything, I guess, dies down? Hopefully with the war, where do you see that going because of this massive, I guess, shift over the long term?
Yeah, so I do believe that there's going to be a huge vacuum for short-term rentals. If you open any media right now, I'm 100% sure that you'll find at least one article about Dubai. As the old PR people say, there is no such a thing as bad media, right? So this is all attention, and attention brings income. So right now there's a huge attention on Dubai, whether it's positive or negative, we can argue about that, but the attention is there. Once the war is over, people want to see what is this Dubai about. Even those people who have never been interested in visiting Dubai, they will be interested after such a huge media coverage. So in other words, what I am expecting is that the tourism is going to skyrocket. It's going to be vertical, and all those people will need a place to stay. But as all, like, a lot of short-term property has been pulled out of the market, there's going to be a severe shortage that will push the prices up for hotel rooms or short-term rentals.
So there's an opportunity for people that are getting in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is the right moment. This is absolutely the right moment.
Wow. Wow. So I think, and again, the media does a good and bad job of portraying the UAE, how it's, what it's been going through in these past few weeks. But funny enough, on social media, you do see a lot of proponents and people that really support the UAE. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
People actually go out of their way, and you, first of all, you are amazing at that. I see all your posts. You don't follow Kinga on Facebook or Instagram. You definitely should, because she gives almost a day-by-day update about what's actually going on in Dubai. And she does a very, very good job. She's one of many creators that are doing that. So people really believe in the UAE.
Yeah. It's very funny because, it's my heart, okay? Nobody tells me to do that. Nobody forces me. I'm not afraid of any punishment or anything. But because I have been honestly reporting about what's going on, I got so many criticism that, oh, you are paid by the UAE government to say such things, or you are only saying good things because you are afraid of punishment. And it's not true. So I had to write an article that this morning I woke up, I checked my bank account, and still no payment from the UAE government.
Right? They should be paying you.
I'm still not getting paid.
Yeah, these are keyboard warriors that don't know what's actually going on in the world. They're in their mom's basement and they're just typing away, right? They don't know the actual. They've probably never even set foot in Dubai.
Yes.
And they're speaking like this.
Yeah.
So it is unfortunate, but again, I'm glad that you're here to clarify, because it's not as how it seems portrayed in the media.
Not at all, not at all. And it's very interesting. What I see, I also read the Western media, right? And one of the type of articles that have been published was about people are fleeing Dubai, no more tax advantages. They have decided to go back to their countries. Okay, so what I have observed is people who have been long-term residents and who have lived through several of the slumps, they stay. They hold on because they know for a fact that this is only temporary. And those who are new in Dubai or in the UAE, or who are only tourists, they were the ones who got scared. and who jumped on a plane and left. But the ones who have been through many years in Dubai or in the UAE and who have seen the power, the resilience of this country, they are staying and they have zero doubt that the market will come out to be stronger after this conflict.
I see it too, right? And again, we speak a lot behind the scenes, right? Our teams work very close together. And once everything blows over, I think it's kind of like what you're saying. It's just going to skyrocket,
Yeah.
right? Everybody will see the resiliency of the UAE.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just think about it. The UAE has been targeted with the largest number of drones and missiles and 96% success rate of interceptions. We have been very strong, very resilient, almost invincible, I must say, right? And that gives faith, and that gives credit to the government.
Let's talk about that. So what actions have the UAE government done to ensure the safety or the calmness of its residents?
Yeah, I think because the leaders of the country themselves have been very calm, and they have always been publishing the numbers, how many missiles, how many drones have been intercepted, what happened, like very, very honestly reporting on every incident. That gave stability and security to the people. They were not trying to hide certain incidents. Everything was upfront. And that gives confidence to the people. This whole alarm system or notification system is also very interesting. Initially, I don't know if you've ever heard this notification. I think here in the US as well, they use
They
that
have an
instead.
Amber Alert.
Exactly, Amber Alert, yes. So it's a very harsh noise, right? So initially we had that day and night. So for both of the alarms, we had the same sound, and it's really I have to say it's very, very shocking waking up to that sound,
course.
right, in the night. But then because people were complaining, so they changed the sound to a normal text message sound.
Okay.
And now it's not that disturbing anymore. So I think that's one of the key features. And the other one, that's my favorite, was probably the third or fourth day into this conflict, where all of a sudden all the billboards started to show the UAE flag everywhere.
Amazing.
So it created such a community bond with everyone who lives there. Then a few days later, they added a line that in the UAE, everyone is Emirati.
Wow.
Emirati is, we call the citizens Emirati.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's such a powerful message. And yes, I don't have a citizenship. I am not a citizen of the country. But this community bond means a lot. And I continue how the government assured and supported us residents who stand with the country even during this time. The Emiratis usually have a better rate for purchasing apartments or real estate. They have a different price because the government wants to support them. And they have extended those preferential rates to us residents as well.
Okay.
Because again, in the UAE, everyone is Emirati.
That's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. So you're saying that they're giving slightly, I guess, concessions to, because of the ongoing situation, to investors and not just the Emirati. So you can talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, but you are a resident.
I am a resident. That's
So
true.
that applies to you as well.
Listen, I love it. And I'll let you get to your point, but I was there for 2 weeks in January, finalizing everything in terms of the visa and the broker license. Um, I went in September. I didn't get to fully enjoy Dubai. I was like, what's the big deal about this place? In January, I went for 2 weeks right before the war happened. And I really fell in love with the country. And I genuinely mean that. To the point that I was telling my business partners, my family, I see myself living here a few months out of the year.
Yeah.
3 to 6 months out of the year. It was that life-changing. Everything is so convenient, so clean. The people are nice. It's just, you can see progress, right?
Yeah.
Very surreal. It's not like anywhere you've been in the world.
Exactly.
I've been, I was born here, but my family's from Colombia. And in Colombia, as much as I love the country, it's scenic, it's beautiful, the people are amazing. There is insecurity,
Yeah.
right? There's crime that happens. You do have to, hide your watch. Don't walk in the street with your phone out because they might steal it.
Yeah.
Roll up your windows when you're on a stoplight. So again, that whole experience with Dubai was amazing.
Yeah, you see, Dubai is the safest country, and yes, the critics may say that, but the missiles are there. But yes, but crime is not there.
Yeah.
So, and that is why Dubai is the largest or the number one destination for millionaires. Millionaires are fed up that they have to cover their watch, that they cannot drive the car they want, they cannot wear the jewelry they want, right? That's the reward for their work. And try wearing a Patek Philippe in London.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's it.
You're targeted.
Exactly, you're an instant target. In Dubai, you can do that.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about that. You can totally do that. You'll not be a target of any crime. Nobody will try to steal anything from you. And I think that's the real attraction. And that's going to be driving the migration towards Dubai in the next many, many years.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And obviously, a lot of the people that are buying now, right? And you've talked about this before, and that was the topic that I wanted to get into. I know right now, because of the ongoing situation, there are certain concessions or certain, I guess, preferential rates that are going on. If you can talk a little bit about that.
Sure. If you don't mind, I go a little bit back
Yes, of
because
course.
I'm an economist, so that's kind of my expertise and a favorite topic. So when do prices start dropping? Right? That's the number one factor, because I keep hearing that Dubai real estate market is dead, prices are crashed. Okay, but when do prices start to crash? When buyers disappear, right? And when buyers disappear, transactions are not happening. So your first indicator of a market crash is the drop in the number of transactions, right? It's not even necessarily the price that will give you the first hint, but it will be the number of transactions, because buyers disappear, right? Of course. But as long as transactions are happening, that means we have buyers and sellers. We have both sides. Otherwise, transactions wouldn't be happening, right? Very simple. So what we have observed right now, let's talk about the secondary market first. So yes, there was a minor, even minute correction in the market. It's around 3%, 4%.
Yeah.
It's not a huge amount of money, right? It's not a huge drop. Transactions are still happening. I just read the statistics from last week. Last week, we had 2.9 billion dirhams worth of transactions happening. That's around 800 million US in 1 week. In 1 week in Dubai alone. So as long as transactions are happening, prices are not dropping significantly. Okay. Um, Now, in terms of the new built market, the new properties, um, why is this a good moment to buy? The prices are not really dropping there either, but I can get better deals, meaning I can have the land registration fee waived. That's 4% instantly.
Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, so when you are purchasing a property in Dubai, first of all, there is no property tax. Yeah, okay? No property tax.
New Yorkers are not too familiar with that
Yeah.
because we see some properties $60,000-$50,000, right? In Long Island.
Shocked. I was shocked. But in Dubai, we don't have property tax. Okay, the only thing that you have to buy as a property buyer, the only thing you have to pay as a property buyer is a 4% land registration fee, 4% of the purchase price. Okay.
Okay.
Now, with this situation, many of the developers waive that 4% for you. So they will be paying it on your behalf. And that's an instant 4% discount if you think about it. I can also play with the payment plan. Normally, developers give you a 60-40 payment plan. So that's the average that you pay 60% during the construction, and then you pay 40% on handover or post handover.
Okay.
Now I can reverse it. So I can push the developer to provide us a 40-60. And again, we are talking about your cash flow, the cash flow of the investors. If you only have to invest 40%, for the remaining 60%, we can bring mortgage.
Yeah.
So you
So
don't
at that
have
point, when at
Exactly.
handover, you can introduce a mortgage.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you don't even have to worry about that 60%. But prior to this conflict, there was no way I could push the developers to change the payment plan.
Very interesting. So the developers are giving, I guess, a better incentives right now.
Absolutely.
So when inevitably this situation goes, the people that got in at this time, they're going to see the fruits of that risk. Not necessarily risk, because we see how formidable the Dubai market is, but the people that got scared and left and don't want to invest now, they're going to pay for it.
Oh, absolutely. They will be so sad. And the ones who invest now, they will be very, very happy. I guarantee that. They will be super happy. And I can foresee that those people who got scared now, they will be coming back to me a year from now or 6 months from now, saying that, oh, can I please have the same terms? No. Once this conflict is over, all of this opportunity will be off the table.
Wow. So talk to us a little bit, for the audience that doesn't know, about the payment plans, right? How does that work? And is that only reserved for residents of UAE or investors abroad? You can elaborate.
Yes. So each developer has a slightly different payment plan. Basically, you, as a general rule, okay, you pay 60% during construction. Construction is somewhere between 2 to 3 years, and you pay the 60% on installments, okay, to an escrow account. So the developer, this is a very important fact, that none of the developers has any access to the money that you pay into the escrow account. Only after the building completion certificate has been issued. Okay, the building completion certificate is only issued once the building is completed and has been approved by the municipality. So in other words, everything has been done as the permit approved. that gives an additional security to the investor, right? So God forbid the developer goes into bankruptcy, you will get your money back, okay, from the escrow account. Yes, you will lose the anticipated capital appreciation, but your original capital will be intact.
I love that.
Okay, so as continuing on the payment plan, and then the 40% of the of the payment will be due either on completion date, or some of the developers provide a so-called post-handover payment plan, which is a monthly installment of that 40%.
Okay.
And the developer doesn't charge you with any interest rate on it. So you can regard it as a zero interest mortgage, right? You will not get the full title until you pay the entire amount, obviously. You do have the right to sell, but you will not be able to mortgage it until it's fully paid. Yeah.
Understood. And the initial 60 is also non-interest as well?
Non-interest, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So again, that's one of the advantages of going through the developer. So
Exactly.
you're getting those types of deals, right? But that is all over. All of the developers do that.
Yes, absolutely. And like most of my clients are investors, they are not end users. So if you look at this payment plan, the post handover payment plan, from the perspective of an investor, this means that the rent will cover the monthly payments. Your rent will cover it
There you go.
mostly, for sure, if not entirely. And that means you don't have to put the 40%. And now if I calculate the return on investment on the equity, that's going to be like an insane figure.
Definitely. And it's because you're, and again, I don't mean risk in a bad way. I mean risk in a good way. You're willing to wait the amount of time it is until the construction. And because you're willing to wait and get in early, you're going to see the fruits of that risk.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, for me, I'm always advising people to consider going for an off-plan property, so a new build property, because in this way they can get the capital appreciation which is happening during the construction. Normally, during construction there is a 20 to 30% capital appreciation.
Wow.
And why would you want to give it to someone else?
Exactly. Right? Might as well get in early and take advantage.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Kinga, what about areas? Where do you see, obviously, we know the most famous ones, downtown, Business Bay, right? But where do you see the next up and coming areas that you're like, hey, invest there? This is where there's a lot going to be going on and you're going to see a lot of capital appreciation.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting subject, and I think it's a constant debate among real estate experts. So let's just talk about the prime areas. Prime areas are always good, okay? However, if we strictly look at the return on investment, the return on investment on prime areas will be around 4 to 5% annually. However, the capital appreciation will be a lot bigger than anywhere else, right? So it's always the investor's appetite, whether he's going for the capital appreciation and he's willing to compromise on the return on investment, or he's looking to have a very high return on investment with cash flow, and a little bit lower capital appreciation. So first we have to see what is the appetite of the investor, of course. If it comes to, I'm a real estate investor as well, And since I'm an economist, I look at trends, I look at locations, look at areas. I determine which area is going to grow, and I'm not following trends. I'm predicting trends. And so far, I've been in the UAE for 14 years, and majority of these years, I've been a real estate investor. And I have not been wrong
Well, I love that.
about any of my predictions. And it is the same now. I do see an area which is not in the focus of the brokers, because what an average broker does, he follows the trends, right? Whatever the other brokers are saying, that's going to be my opinion, right? Why? Because the others are saying
Herd
it,
mentality.
right?
Yeah.
That's their only reason.
Yes.
When it comes to me, I observe things. I observe trends. I observe locations. I observe the connectivity of certain areas, and I do have, we discussed this. There is an area in Dubai which is very much under the radar. Beautifully located, very well connected, 10-15 minutes from downtown. Ideal location. The metro stop is coming there in 2029. So the connectivity will be even better. Right now, it's very undervalued. So you can get a studio apartment there for like $150,000. $150,000. We are talking about a city which is comparable to Manhattan. Can you get an apartment for $150,000 in Manhattan?
Maybe 50 years ago.
Yeah, but that's where Dubai is in terms of the price point, and I think that there's going to be a massive capital appreciation. So I'm speaking from experience. Okay, I did that exactly the same thing in another area. So I purchased a property, studio apartment, for $150,000. Right now, that property, we are talking about 3.5 years. Right now, the value of that property is $220,000.
Oh,
So what's that in
I believe
percentage? Like 50%?
50%, yeah.
Approximately 50%. And it's rented, that property of mine is rented at 12% return on investment annually. So, and I think the same thing will happen in that area as well.
I love it. I love it, Kinga. So, I mean, listen, for all you guys thinking of investing, you're hearing it here first. Kinga is suggesting Majan, it's called?
Majan.
Majan.
Majan, yeah.
Kinga, thank you very much for taking your time and clearing the air about what's actually going on in Dubai. Because as we know, there's so much misconceptions.
Thank you very much for having you on the podcast.
Of course, of course. And obviously, if there's any way for people to reach you, how can they reach you? What's your social media?
Yeah, so my personal social media is Kinga Szabo. You can put it on the...
I'll put it on the show notes.
Or Manara Properties is the company social media handle.
I love it. I love it. Well, Kinga, again, you're amazing as always. We hope you enjoyed your trip here to New York City.
Oh, I loved it. I loved every second of it. So thank you so much.
I always said you're a New Yorker at heart.
Yeah, for sure.
Kinga, have a safe trip back, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, guys. Have a good one.